Have you ever looked back at your 20s and thought, if only I knew then what I know now about money? Well, you're not alone. In this video, I'm going to share the 10 most valuable personal finance lessons I wish someone had taught me back then. These aren't just tips. They're game changers that could save you years of financial stress and help you get ahead, no matter where you're starting. If you've ever felt like you're stuck in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, or unsure how to manage your money for the long term, this is for you. From saving more effectively, to investing smart, to avoiding costly financial mistakes, this video will give you practical, actionable steps you can use right now to secure your financial future. So stick around because these lessons can make the difference between financial struggle and financial freedom. And before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a money-saving tip. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Start saving early. Saving money early on is probably the most underrated personal finance lesson out there. Most young adults think they'll have plenty of time to start saving later, but time is your greatest asset. When you start saving in your 20s, even small amounts, compound interest works its magic. Imagine saving just $100 a month starting at 21. By the time you're 65, that could turn into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now think of how much more you'd have if you started even earlier or saved more. It's easy to get distracted by all the fun things money can buy when you're young. Nights out, fancy dinners, or that latest gadget might feel like a must, but these expenses add up. If you train yourself to prioritize saving over impulsive purchases, you'll thank yourself later. Try setting aside 20% of your paycheck for savings as soon as you get paid. It's not about depriving yourself, it's about building financial freedom for your future self. Trust me, having money saved feels way better than the temporary rush of buying something new. A great way to get started is by automating your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to a savings or investment account right after payday. You won't even miss the money because it's gone before you get the chance to spend it. Think of it as paying yourself first. Plus, it's a foolproof way to ensure you're always putting something away, even if you forget or get tempted to spend. And once you get that habit down, you can move on to the next critical step in mastering money management. Lesson 2. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation is one of the sneakiest traps in personal finance. It happens when your income goes up, and suddenly, so does your spending. It feels natural to upgrade your life as you make more money, but this can keep you stuck in a cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, even with a higher salary. If you don't control lifestyle inflation, financial freedom becomes a distant dream. Just because you get a raise doesn't mean you need a new car, a bigger apartment, or fancier dinners. Instead, keep your expenses stable as your income increases. Sure, reward yourself for your hard work, but be strategic about it. For example, instead of upgrading everything, why not increase your savings or investment contributions? This doesn't mean living like a monk, but living below your means ensures that you're building wealth rather than spending every dollar you earn. That's the secret to having both security and the flexibility to enjoy life when it truly matters. Avoiding lifestyle inflation is easier when you stay mindful of your long-term goals. For instance, keeping your car for a few more years or sticking with your current phone instead of upgrading to the newest model every year can make a huge difference. When you resist the pressure to constantly level up your lifestyle, you'll find that your money management skills sharpen, leading naturally to the next step: building a solid emergency fund. Lesson 3. Build an emergency fund. An emergency fund is your financial safety net, and it's one of the most important things you can build early on. Life is unpredictable. Whether it's a medical bill, car repair, or sudden job loss, having money set aside can be the difference between a minor inconvenience and a full-blown crisis. Experts recommend saving 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses, but even starting with $1,000 can provide peace of mind. The key is to keep this money in a separate, easily accessible account so you're not tempted to dip into it for non-emergencies. Building this fund may seem overwhelming, but start small. Set up automatic transfers into a high-yield savings account, even if it's just $50 a month. Over time, it will grow without you having to think about it. Plus, once you have that cushion in place, you can invest more confidently, knowing that if anything unexpected happens, you're covered. Imagine the relief of not having to rely on credit cards or loans when life throws you a curveball. The best part about an emergency fund, it gives you options. Instead of stressing over every unexpected expense, you can focus on bigger financial goals like investing for retirement or planning for early retirement. With this financial safety net in place, you're setting the stage for a more stable and secure future. Now that your foundation is solid, it's time to learn how to budget effectively. Lesson 4. Learn to budget early. Budgeting is the cornerstone of effective money management. When you learn to budget early, you take control of where your money goes instead of wondering where it went. A budget gives you clarity on your income, expenses, and savings, allowing you to make informed decisions. It's like a roadmap that helps you navigate through both everyday expenses and long-term financial goals. The earlier you establish this habit, the more prepared you'll be for life's bigger financial challenges. Creating a budget doesn't have to be complicated. Start by tracking your spending for a month. Write down everything from rent and groceries to those small, seemingly insignificant purchases like coffee or apps. Once you have a clear picture of where your money is going, categorize your spending into needs, wants, and savings. Tools like Mint or YNAB, You Need a Budget, can help automate this process and make it less tedious. Over time, you'll find that budgeting becomes second nature, freeing you from financial stress. One of the biggest benefits of budgeting is that it shows you where you can cut back without sacrificing your quality of life. Maybe you'll discover you're spending more on eating out than you realized, or that a streaming service you never use is quietly draining your account. Adjusting those small habits can lead to big savings, which brings us to the next crucial step: avoiding unnecessary debt. Lesson 5. Avoid unnecessary debt. Debt can quickly become a huge financial burden if not managed properly. In your 20s, it's tempting to use credit cards or loans to fund lifestyle upgrades, vacations, or even impulse purchases. But unnecessary debt can derail your financial progress for years, making it harder to save, invest, or achieve financial independence. The best approach is to only take on debt that helps you build wealth, like a mortgage or student loans, with a clear return on investment. Consumer debt, on the other hand, is a trap that's easy to fall into and hard to escape. Credit cards, for example, often come with high interest rates, making it easy to spiral into debt if balances aren't paid in full each month. If you must use credit, make sure to only charge what you can afford to pay off by the end of the billing cycle. A great rule of thumb is to use no more than 30% of your available credit, as this not only keeps your debt in check but also helps maintain a healthy credit score. Remember, using credit responsibly can open doors, but misusing it can close them. To avoid unnecessary debt, focus on building your savings and emergency fund. This way, you won't need to rely on credit when unexpected expenses arise. Living below your means and prioritizing saving over spending will keep you out of the debt cycle. Once you're clear of unnecessary debt, you're ready to move on to the next step in building wealth: investing early, even if it's just a small amount to start. Lesson 6. Invest early, even if it's small. Investing early is one of the most powerful financial moves you can make. Even if you start with small amounts, the key is to get started. The earlier you invest, the more time your money has to grow through compound interest. This means that even a modest investment can grow significantly over time. For example, investing just $100 a month in an index fund with an average return of 7% could grow to over $120,000 in 30 years. That's the magic of compound interest. Your money makes more money over time. Many people feel overwhelmed by investing because they think they need a lot of money or deep financial knowledge, but in reality, you don't need to be an expert to start. Platforms like Vanguard, Fidelity, or even apps like Robinhood and Acorns make it easy for beginners to start small and gradually build their portfolios. If you're unsure where to invest, consider low-cost index funds or ETFs, which spread your money across a variety of assets, lowering your risk. Remember, consistency is more important than the amount. Just keep contributing regularly. Investing is about building wealth for the long term, so don't worry about timing the market or getting rich overnight. Start with what you have, and as you grow more comfortable, you can increase your contributions. The goal is to make investing a habit. Once you get that rhythm going, you'll be setting yourself up for financial freedom and early retirement, which is the ultimate goal for many. Now, while investing is critical, there's more to life than just accumulating wealth. It's also about focusing on experiences, not just things. Lesson 7. Focus on experiences, not things. One of the most common traps in personal finance is the urge to spend money on material possessions, thinking they'll bring happiness. But the truth is, experiences often provide far more lasting satisfaction than things. Studies have shown that people who invest in experiences like travel, learning new skills, or spending quality time with loved ones tend to be happier than those who accumulate more stuff. Memories from experiences grow in value over time, while material things often lose their appeal shortly after the purchase. Think about it. That new gadget or designer clothing will eventually fade or become outdated, but the time spent on a memorable vacation or attending a concert with friends will last a lifetime. It doesn't mean you should never treat yourself to something nice, but finding a balance where experiences take priority over things is key to both financial and emotional well-being. If you're considering a big purchase, ask yourself, will this add long-term value to my life, or is it just instant gratification? By focusing on experiences, you can still enjoy your life while maintaining financial discipline. This mindset shift helps you live within your means without feeling deprived. It also fosters gratitude, as you'll be less focused on keeping up with others and more on enjoying life to its fullest. After all, financial freedom isn't just about accumulating wealth, but also about enriching your life with meaningful experiences. But before you can enjoy those experiences, you need to understand the basics of taxes and investments, knowledge that will help you make smarter financial choices. Lesson 8. Learn basic tax and investment concepts. Understanding taxes and investments may sound complicated, but it's a game changer for anyone serious about personal finance. The more you know about how taxes affect your money, the better you'll be at making informed decisions. For instance, did you know that certain investments are taxed at a lower rate than regular income? If you invest in things like index funds or contribute to a 401(k) or IRA, you not only grow your money but can also take advantage of tax benefits. Knowing where to park your money to minimize taxes is key to keeping more of it in your pocket. Let's say you're starting small with a few $100s to invest. You could consider tax-advantaged accounts like a Roth IRA, where your investments grow tax-free, or if your company offers a 401(k) match, take advantage of it. It's basically free money. The best part? These simple investment tools not only help you save for retirement but also shield you from paying unnecessary taxes today. The earlier you get familiar with these concepts, the more opportunities you have to optimize your financial growth. The thing about taxes and investments is, they work best when understood together. It's like having two sides of a coin. If you ignore one, you're losing value. So don't just focus on the money you're making. Focus on the money you can keep. The more you understand these financial fundamentals, the more control you'll have over your financial future. Now, speaking of control, ever thought about diversifying your income sources? That's where financial freedom really starts to take shape. Lesson 9. Build multiple income streams. Relying on just one source of income is risky, especially in today's uncertain economy. Building multiple income streams is one of the smartest moves you can make in personal finance. Whether it's a side hustle, passive income from investments, or rental properties, diversifying where your money comes from protects you from unexpected financial setbacks. Think of it as having a financial safety net. If one source dries up, others can keep you afloat. It's not just about survival though, it's about accelerating your wealth-building journey. Imagine you work a 9-to-5 but also have a small online business or invest in dividend-paying stocks. Those extra streams of money might start small, but over time, they can grow into significant parts of your income. This approach isn't just for the wealthy either. Anyone can start. You could offer freelance services, invest in real estate through REITs, real estate investment trusts, or even monetize a hobby like photography. The point is, having multiple streams not only gives you financial freedom but also opens up more opportunities to pursue your passions. Diversifying your income is like planting different seeds. Some may take time to grow, but eventually, you'll have a flourishing garden of income sources. And that's when financial security turns into financial independence. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter with your money. Now that you've got your income streams flowing, it's equally important to surround yourself with the right people who can help you keep growing. Lesson 10. Surround yourself with financially responsible people. Who you spend your time with plays a massive role in your financial success. It's often said that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and this applies to personal finance as well. Surrounding yourself with financially responsible people helps you stay focused on your own financial goals and encourages you to make smarter money decisions. Whether it's a friend who's excellent at budgeting or a mentor who's skilled at investing, having the right influences makes a world of difference. Let's say you start hanging out with people who prioritize saving money and building wealth. You'll naturally begin adopting their habits. Maybe you'll think twice before making impulse purchases, or you'll start learning about different ways to invest early. This isn't about cutting ties with friends, but about being intentional with your social circle. Join financial literacy groups, attend workshops, or even follow thought leaders in the personal finance world. Over time, these small changes in who you associate with will have a big impact on your financial independence journey. Think of it like this: if you want to run a marathon, you wouldn't train with someone who never runs. The same goes for money management. Surrounding yourself with financially responsible people gives you access to knowledge, motivation, and accountability. These are key components in building wealth and achieving financial security. Now, as you've learned about these foundational lessons, let's dive into the bigger picture and how these strategies combine for long-term success. As we wrap up, remember that these 10 personal finance lessons can truly change the course of your financial journey. Whether it's learning how to save more, invest smarter, or avoid common money mistakes, the power to build wealth and financial freedom is in your hands. The earlier you start applying these lessons, the bigger the impact you'll see in your life. So, which lesson resonated with you the most? What are you going to start doing differently today? Let me know in the comments. And if you're ready to keep learning and growing your financial knowledge, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. Thanks for watching, and here's to your financial success.